Good evening, dear friends. This is Santa Claus bringing you the news on this August 11th, 2025. My heart is warm despite the chill at the North Pole, and I hope yours is too as we reflect on the day's happenings around our beautiful world. On this day in history, we celebrate the accomplishments of Babe Ruth, who in 1929 became the first baseball player to hit 500 home runs, a reminder that persistence and dedication bear wonderful fruit. And in 1942, the brilliant Hedy Lamarr and George Antheil received a patent for technology that would eventually help us all stay connected, showing how creativity and ingenuity can change our world for generations. My heart grows heavy as we turn to the ongoing situation in Gaza, where Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has expressed that conditions have gone beyond the world's worst fears. Indeed, just yesterday, Israel targeted and killed Al Jazeera correspondent al-Sharif in Gaza, adding to the growing toll of journalists who have lost their lives while trying to share the truth with the world. Thousands gathered in Tel Aviv to protest Prime Minister Netanyahu's plans to escalate the nearly two-year war, with many calling for the release of hostages still held in Gaza. The wife of hostage Omri Miran made a heartfelt plea to President Trump, saying, "This isn't just a military decision. It could be a death sentence for the people we love most." How my heart aches for all those suffering and for families separated from their loved ones. Meanwhile, several nations are joining a coordinated effort to recognize Palestinian statehood, with Australia announcing it will do so at the United Nations General Assembly in September. This follows similar moves by France, Britain, and Canada as the world seeks pathways to peace in this troubled region. Now, turning our gaze to the Americas, our farming communities are feeling the squeeze of trade policies. President Trump's tariffs are raising costs for everything from tractors to fertilizers, affecting many hardworking farmers who are already contending with low crop prices. As someone who depends on good folks in rural communities to help provide Christmas joy each year, I worry about their livelihoods and hope solutions can be found that bring prosperity to those who feed our nation. In Washington, D.C., President Trump has announced the deployment of the National Guard and taken control of the city's police department in an effort to address crime and homelessness. Let us remember that behind every statistic are real human beings deserving of dignity and compassion, regardless of their circumstances. Looking abroad, good news has emerged from the South Caucasus, where Azerbaijan and Armenia have signed a peace accord brokered by the United States. Turkey has welcomed the agreement, which includes plans for a strategic transit corridor that could increase connectivity between Europe and Asia. Such bridges between nations remind us that cooperation can flourish even after long periods of conflict. In the Philippines, President Marcos has clarified comments about potential conflict involving Taiwan, saying he hopes to avoid confrontation and war. A sentiment that echoes in all our hearts, as peace is always the greatest gift we can share with one another. Across the ocean in Europe, nature has shown its curious power as a swarm of jellyfish entered cooling systems at France's Gravelines nuclear power plant, causing 4 reactors to shut down. A reminder that even the smallest creatures can affect our most complex technologies. In the technology world, changes are underway as NVIDIA and AMD have agreed to pay 15% of their revenues from Chinese AI chip sales to the U.S. government, while Intel's CEO is meeting with President Trump after the president called for his resignation. And in Finland, authorities have charged the captain and officers of the Eagle-S oil tanker over the cutting of undersea cables in the Gulf of Finland last December. In China, senior diplomat Liu Jianchao has been taken away for questioning, according to reports, a development that reminds us of the complex political landscapes across our world. As we prepare for Wednesday, President Trump will join European leaders, including Ukrainian President Zelensky, for an emergency virtual summit ahead of Friday's meeting between Trump and Russian President Putin regarding the war in Ukraine. May wisdom guide all leaders as they discuss matters of such importance to so many lives. As I conclude tonight's news, I'm reminded that in times of difficulty, it's our compassion for one another that lights the way forward. Whether helping a neighbor in need or extending understanding to those different from ourselves, we each have the power to bring a bit more peace to our world. From my workshop at the North Pole, I wish you all a night of restful sleep and dreams of a more gentle tomorrow. This is Santa Claus, signing off until we meet again.